En geno mar nyakwa Ramogi ni riyo makare, wan be waikore gi weche manyien e odiechieng'ono ma bende chenro mar ng'ado bura ne manen gavana ma Kiambu dhi nyime e od bura mamalo e boma ma Nairobi, kaachiel gi weche mamoko mabiro wuok ni e piny Ethiopia motudore gi yiero mag AUC. Mokwongo wawinjane thuond weche. Chenro motelo ne yiero jakom mar AUC dhi nyime e boma ma Addis Ababa e piny Ethiopia ka romo mar jotend tudruok pinje maoko e Afrika odonjo e odiechienge mar ariyo.
The findings of this report are a call to action for all of us, parents, educators, policymakers, and the young youth themselves. Let us unite in this fight to create a sober, healthy, and prosperous nation.
Sirikal oyango kenge mag thiro tiyo kod yedhe mamero ji e pacho ka yedhe mamero ji pod en midhiero e mbalariany ma Thurka.
Koromo 2 months kaponi Obama market okoyudo cho, okomednwa skip mar container. Health-wise bende okobedo maber korka ler. Mane okang' ma jo traders around 500 people osekao ni they will not pay tax.
Johala e chiro mobambo omiyo ten kaunti ma Kisumo dweche ariyo mar keto kare chenro e chirono, ma ka ok kamano to gibiro kawo ndamo machielo. Nyakwa Ramogi gi thuolo mar oro ote machok e laini maro mar ote machok ma en 36000 machiegni nyinga Milton Ochieng' Awuor. Jang'ad bura Thomas Nzioka kawuono ng'ado bura ne manen gavana ma Kiambu Ferdinand Waititu kaachiel gi min ode gi ji mamoko 6 e wi mibadhi mamienogi. Maeri en bang' yude gi keth mar mibadhi motudore gorak mar malo siling milion 500. Waititu nyoro nyoywagore ne doho ni mondo mi ong'wonne kosingo ni ok nonuo keth makamano kendo kokwayo ni mondo mi kik miye kum mager. Kata kamano, jamin buche doho nonyiso doho ni mondo mi orang pek mar burano kod kwan maduong' mar omenda ma bende ne e seche ma ong'ado bura ka bende okwayo doho mondo mi ogeng' ne Waititu laro thuolo moro amora mar siasa kuom higni 10. Wadhi e doho mondo wawinjane kaka burano dhi.
This is the court's determination on those issues before I proceed to sentence. The court retains the discretion in sentencing depending on the facts and the peculiar circumstances of each case. This legal proposition is supported by the decision Bernard Kimani Gasheru versus the Republic at 2002 EKLR, cited with approval in the case of Kibuna and 2 others versus the Republic. In 2022 KEHC 9986 in the neutral citation of the Kenya law reports. The Sentencing Policy Guidelines 2023 as revised is then a useful guide in sentencing. Factors that the guide instructs the court to follow in sentencing are: 1, age of the offender, being a first offender, whether the offender pleaded guilty, character and record of the offender, remorsefulness of the offender, the possibility of reform and social readaptation of the offender, and gravity of the offense, and time, if any, served in custody prior to conviction, so as to arrive at a just and appropriate sentence in the present case. I bear in mind the mitigation and the personal circumstances of each of the accused person. I also bear in mind the offending behavior as established by the evidence on record. In this case, charges against the accused persons concern economic crimes under ASECA and procurement fraud under the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015. I therefore hold the view that the following objectives are thus relevant to determine the sentences to the accused person. 1, deterrence. There's need to deter such acts. B, denunciation. There's a retribution, at least for the money to get back to public coffers. C, denunciations. We denounce that is conduct that we cannot accept. And number D, community protection. The society as a large needs to be protected from those kind of criminal acts. This case is a typical example of a breach of public trust by the former governor and the chief officer, Department of Roads, Transport and Public Utilities. The offending acts of the accused person were deliberate, inexcusable, and undermines the tenets of good governance. I find that there cannot be an excuse for a governor to trade with a contractor of his county government or receive suspect money from the contractor. Then a governor who is so conflicted will be endeared to the personal gain, but not the servant leadership as expected from our Constitution. In this case, conduct of the first accused, second, fourth, and fifth accused persons is one that shows that they derive benefit from their criminal actions. Their common motive was personal enrichment from the public funds at the expense of service delivery to the people. That accused person, the engineer, you fail in your professional duty by awarding quotient raw tender to the Testimony Enterprise Limited. That company, there is no doubt, was unqualified. And it's been founded on the quicksand of procurement fraud. It could not withstand any test of time. A matter of concern to me, and I think this one you need to think about it seriously, Mr. Chege, is the deliberate misrepresentation and forgery of academic credentials of young graduates at a time when unemployment is a challenge to this society. That was not proper, Mr. Chege. You can just get them and employ them. The submission that the county government got value for money by Mr. Jenga is, in the terms of this case, far-fetched.
Tendo osiptal mar ji giwegi ma Naivasha pod ni kod buok bang' familia moro ywango nyathigi ma koko nyuole osiptalno bang' fwenyo ni en kod ng'ol. Familia wacho ni nyathino en nyathi mokuong kata min mare nodagi dhodhe. Nyathino nonyuol maonge ume, lwetene kaachiel gi tiendene kata mana wiye ok nolosore makare, gino manochuno familia no ringo kendo jwang'e osiptalno. Tendo osiptalno oseyudo jabero mowuok e osiptal maduong' ma Kenyatta mondo mi otimne nyathino bero mar reso ngimane kaluwore ni sani oyweyo mana gi dhoge. Bang'e gikwayo kuonde rito nyithindo maonge miechgi manyalo kawo nyathino mondo mi okawe orite ka gisingo chiwo sir ne nyathino mar neno nodago ngima makare.
Mama ya mtoto alipomuona akasema hamtaki kwa sababu alizaliwa na maumbile ambayo si ambayo tumezoea. So maumbile ambayo ni tofauti kwa mtoto ni skull yake iko well formed. So akona kichwa yake, the skull imeanzia hapa kurudi nyuma. So upande wa mbele hapa hakuna skull. Alafu pia utaona uso wake hauko sawa kabisa, hana pua. So hapa tu ni the nostrils. Alafu pia macho yake yako set hapa tu chini, right above the mdomo wake. So pia ukiangalia mikono yake na miguu, kwa mguu ana kidole kimoja kwa the right lower limb. Alafu kwa mkono moja kuna vidole viwili ambavyo hana.
Definitely ni kitu inafaa kushughulikiwa kwa haraka. Kama nilivyosema, kuna uvimbe huko kwa sehemu yake ya mbele ya kichwa. Na kulingana na investigation tumekuwa tukifanya, imetuonyesha kwamba brain yake iko intact, but kuna sehemu iko na maji pia, na hatujui kama venye anaendelea kukua mkubwa ama kutakuwa na any compromise kwa brain yake.
Riwruoge mopogore ma ok mag sirikal dwaro mondo mi piny owacho oruch chenro mar neno ni chenro duto mag thieth morochi kod chike manogol kod piny Amerika odok e wang'e. Riwruogego olero ni chik ma kamano chungo tije mag ji mahewa 35,000 kendo miyo ute mag thieth maromo 120 olor, gino makoro osechako rocho ngima oganda maende nogeno kuom chenro ma kamago. Ka giloso gi jofwambo, riwruogego wacho ni kata obedo ni chenro mag chiwo yedhe kod mwandu mamoko pod dhi nyime, nitiere chenro mamoko mochuno mag siro jotuo ma sani koro chung'. Gi duol achiel, gidwaro mondo sirkal ochiw ler malong'o ewi kaka gichano mar neno ni jotuo ahinya to mago mag kute mag ayaki, kahera kod malaria ngimagi ok orochore kata matin.
In the region, responding with renewed and new commitments to address the gaps left by this funding crisis, the Kenyan government has not responded effectively yet. We are concerned by this lack of urgency and proactive actions from our leaders when lives are at risk. The abrupt 90-day suspension threatens to undo decades of progress in the Kenya's healthcare system, particularly in HIV, TB, and malaria response. Over 150 clinics have been forced to close, affecting more than 72,000. And again, I repeat, affecting 72,000 people.
By the time the freeze order was coming, Kenya had achieved 98, 98, and 94. The fear today is that all this may be eroded. Those gains may be eroded. And whereas we appreciate the limited waiver, today we are here as Kenyans to call on the U.S. government to probably consider putting aside all that order.
Oganda tainya rowere ojiw mondo ti kod raboyunga e geng'o landruok mag kute mag ayaki e pacho ka. Maeri kwayo mogol gi migawo mar thieth e kinde nyasi ma jiwo oganda mondo ti gi raboyunga mong'ere kaka International Condoms Day, nyasi ma bende dhi nyime e mbalariany mar Rongo e kaunti ma Migori. Watudore gi jafwambo marwa George Juma yor simo mondo nyiswa kaka nyasi no dhi nyime kod ote maduong' mowuok kono. George Juma, kinyalo winja, inyalo nyisa ni to nyasi ma kamano nochakore nang'o, to gin ang'o giri mosewachi ma bende wanyalo fuaro n'oganda?
Erokamano Milton, awinji makare kowuok e mbalariany mar Rongo mar kod Marongo e kaunti ma Migori, kama bende nitie nyasi maduong' mar odiochieng'no mar raboyunga e piny mangima. E piny Kenya mae kama inge nyasi no, ka bende oganda opogo osechopo e nyasi ma bende nyaka sani koro dhi nyime. Ka wendo maduong' kata mobial e nyasi ni en Kevin Ndolo, ma en director mar bad migawo no mar piny owacho mochung'ne kedo kod landruok mag kutego mag ayaki, the National Diseases and Pandemic Control Council, kama bende rawere mathoth bende ochopo kae. Ka bende gima duong' ma bende imedo jiw e nyasi ni en ni mondo rawere kata oganda duto ti kod raboyunga. Ka joma bende wasetwago yango ni thoth oganda to en rawere ng'eny gi sani ok ti kod raboyunga. Bende gino mosemiyo koro thoth rawere pod gamo kutego mag ayaki. Bende wach ni king'iyo piny Kenya mangima, atamalo 70 mag joma gamo kutego mag ayaki gin rawere. To kaunti ma Migori atamalo 51 bende gamo kutego mag ayaki sani gin rawere. Bende nyiso ni koro nyasi ma koro ni ahinya koro geto rawere to ahinya ma bende koro nitie higni mar higni 24 kadok piny. Bende ni nyaka sani koro ginya bende pod dhi e weche mag terruok to ahinya ng'eny gi bende nitie kod gima itiyore mathoth midendo kaka multiple partner. Kaluwore kod moko kuom twak mawinjo en ni e piny Kenya mangima budget kata omenda moket ne nyiewo raboyunga nyiso ni dichuo ka dichuo e piny Kenya omi raboyunga 14 e higa mangima. Giwacho joma nyalo tiyo kod malo 14, moko bok ti malo 14. Kod ma bende rawere ywak ne ni piny nikech ka ng'ato achiel nigi raboyunga 14 kende, nyiso ne giwa ni mondo koro piny owacho med keto budget mano ni koro beche mag raboyunga koro bedo moromo. To bende chwal gi nyaka e kor gwenge, kama bende koro inyalo dhi yo mayot. Gima bende wuok ka en ni pod nitiere luoro e yorego mag nyiewo raboyunga. Iwacho ni raboyunga en gino matije duong' ahinya e geng'o landruok mag kutego mag ayaki. To en gino matijege tin. Kinyiewe to ng'amoneni ochako paro gima idhi timo kode. Iwacho ni paro ma kamae bende koro osemiyo oganda mathoth oluoro nyiewo raboyunga. Gino bende koro miyo thothgi ok yud thuolo mar tiyo kode, bende koro miyo kata landruok mag kutego mag ayaki dhi nyime. King'iyo lipot mar Kenya Demographic Health Survey mar higa mag 2022, ayango ni king'iyo jogo materore, joma mine, atamalo 23 kende matiyo kod raboyunga. ka joma chuo maromo mana tamalo 46 kende matiyo kod raboo manyiso ni wan jogi pod ni piny. Kabende iwacho ni mae yo maduong' minya geng'o landruok mag kutego mag ayaki. Kabende apisas migo mathieth wacho ni ne jogo bende koro pod rembgi liet kata terore, onego bed ni samoro amora ni digo bajet mar dwe iketo nyaka bajet mar aboyunga, nikech ok ing'e ni nya dware sadi inya yude kanye, mondo koro onego bed ni kode kamoro amora e odi kamoro amora kaka yo mar geng'ruok. Ni mae ok nyis ni chal ng'ama jachode kata ng'ama wang'e ng'eny, to ma en yo mar geng'ruok ma bende koro ijiwo oganda duto mondo koro autigo. Katieko en ni ywak maduong' bende koro gol ni thothne yudo raboyunga kosebedo mayot mikelo kod piny owacho kinde ka kinde ok bed moromo. Bende koro jiwo piny owacho ni ber ka koro iketo ne ineno ni raboyunga obedo moromo kuondego mag thieth kata kuonde ma rawere nyalo chopo e yo makare mondo koro gitigo mondo koro konye geng'o landruok mag kutego mag ayaki. Milton, pod wantie ka, pod wago tach ka mar ng'iyo ni to ang'o giri malich kata waseneno ni sani kata mana kony michiwo misirogo chenrogo mag chiwo kata raboyunga chal ka gima dok piny. En okang' mano piny owacho dhi keto mane oganda odhigno kod yudo raboyunga e yono makare. To bende jok bende koro gole ne piny owacho bende ni kata raboyunga miuso kata e dukni ber ka idwoko nengo gi piny. Iwacho ni raboyunga beche yot sani en siling 50 ma samoro nitie joma ok nyal nyiewo. Koro ne mondo piny owacho bende oket okenge mar dwoko nengo mar raboyunga mondo oganda kata rawere obed kod yot. Koro pod wan ka mar mi mathoth ka otende kod nyasi ma kawuono mar raboyunga e piny mangima.
Erokamano ahinya Juma oyudo ripodno yo makare achiel kachiel kowuok Rongo. En adier ni kwan mar 14 kende higa to tin, kuom mano sirikal onego parane kaka ikonyo rowere. Ka wadhi nyime en ni duol makedo gi yedhe mamero ji e pacho ka mong'ere kaka Nakada oyango nonro mar lipota margi ewi kaka jopuonjre mag mbalariany tiyo gi yedhe mamero ji. Koloso jakom mar bod mar Nakada Stephen Mairori owacho ni nonro mar lipodno en ranyisi mar kaka tiyo gi yedhe mamero ji nyalo thiro lek mar piny Kenya ne rowere. Jatend migawo mar arita Kipchumba Murkomen manoyuore nyasi ono e okenge ma piny owacho lero ni jo Kenya mopogore kaachiel kod ten mbalariany nyaka koro riw lwedo kedo kendo tiyo kanyakla mar neno ni rowere ok ti gi yedhe makamago.
We need to enhance the capability of the anti-narcotic drugs unit so that it can actually be able to assist and work closely with others, including Nakanda and others, to ensure that we root out this issue.
These findings presented here not only highlight the severity of the problem, but also provides additional recommendations to address it. The challenge of drug abuse is not just a threat to public health. It is an obstacle to Kenya's development aspirations. If we do not act decisively, we risk losing the entire generation to addiction, mental health challenges, and wasted potential.
Alcohol was the most available substance among the students at 87.3%, followed by cigarettes 64.4% and shisha 41.2%. The findings of this report are a call to action for all of us, parents, educators, policymakers, and the young youth themselves. Let us unite in this fight to create a sober, healthy, and prosperous nation. The university management and the relevant stakeholders should roll out deliberate and sustained drug and substance abuse prevention interventions, including strong mentorship programs tailored to the needs of vulnerable population. There is also a need for collaboration and strengthening of the university chaplaincies to play an active role in the prevention of drug abuse.
Gavana Masia James Orengo kwayo jokanyo kod joket mwandu e sekta mar thieth kaka yor jiwo chenro mag thieth e kuonde thieth ma pacho ka e kinde ni mathoth oganda ni koda pek yudo thieth e thurka. Oseyo nengo mamalo mar thieth ma sani medo kelo midhiero ne oganda, ahinya to jogo ma yutogi ni piny ma ok nyal chulo nengo mar thieth kendo onge kod nyalo mar chulo bech kit okumba manyien mar SHA. Orengo ne wuoye kar chung od bura magem e kaunti ma Siaya e kinde mane laktache maya e piny mar Canada nolimo gwengego matimo thieth mag bero n'oganda e kaunti no kuom juma achiel.
More and consult more because I think primary health care in an environment where incomes are low and the standard of life for ordinary citizens. A big percentage of our people are living below the poverty line and just about $1 a day or less. So the provision of universal health care that is of reasonable quality and is accessible is essential in our situation.
Our program here, dubbed Nyathi and Mwandu, takes account of all aspects of a child's development from conception to the age of about 3 years. And this is why we are particularly invested in ensuring good health, nurturing care for these children at this very early age.
Really, we'll have more impact by helping children. If we can help in any way children to get a better education, have a desire to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, to be an anesthesiologist, an accountant, whatever, and see the impact that will have in the world. Helping do surgery on a few patients is fantastic, but even better is to help provide hope and encouragement and building brotherhood across the world.
En thuolo mar kawo yweyo mokwongo to kapok wadhi e yweyo wasomane moko kuom ote museoronwa e 2-3-600 Owino Kani Nakuru wacho na rito weche mag AUC maber kawalemo ne Raila Odinga mondo yud sitno. Jaka Black awinje yorno makare kendo Ramogi TV nene yo madimba. Nyinga en Ato Ward Kodumba Kanyamwa. Agwaro 1-2 ka entiere Ugina Beach Mfangano Island wacho ni waneni maler gi min nyabo kaito Nyaringa Alfred awinjo news makare ahinya to ka nungo e karungu. To machielo bende wacho ka ni an Ramadhan Jamal ka entiere Kakarao Migori amor gi gima rowere timo majiwarita e Kakarao kaito awinjo yo makare kendo Ramogi TV neno madimba. Nyinga en Ato aparo na Tono Warren kecho oseoro mare an Misira Janyando. Ramogi TV neno yo malere gwenge maga Awasi elo Awasi te akwayo hawi maber ne jakom Raila Odinga. Mogik awinje yono makare aparo ni Ato yoro ote mang'eny sana te neno ote achiel min wanya kwa Ramogi kikidhi mabor aduogo bang' thuolo machuok.
Shabiki.com ikuwe part of your wins. Hii 2025 tunaenda kufly even higher. Ukiwekelea, wekelea responsibly. Not for persons under the age of 18. Authorized and regulated by BCLB 671.
Ne thuolo mar yudo weche tuke duto nyaka mopondo. Mbaka makende mag jotugo kendo mag jomolony weche tuke.
Can you believe it?
Magite yudore chenro mar pau tuke.
The 4.84 kilometers.
Nonro matut kod gigo matimre manyien mag tuke duto mawuok e piny mangima. Tudri kodwa ngeso ka ngeso Ramogi TV. Kochakore saa 8 odiechieng' ka wami gik motimore pau tuke. Wakelo ni chenro mar ohala kod lony gi dongruok mopogore opogore.
Ohand kinyosi nigi pesa kitimo gima dwarore.
Weche makende moa kuom jogo makelo lokruok e ngima dhano.
Ohala ber nikech ohala puonji managerial skills. Lek ma in go iriembe mineni gigo chopo.
Chakre gi jogo mane ochako ohala manyien.
Kalure gi kaka nachako gi kuma achope. Ohala ni en ohala maber.
Nyaka jotelo molony e timo ohala.
Akwanyo jodala wate odogi ohala.
Ne pek mane gikalie.
Pod waonge uhuru mar ohala.
Loch mane giyudo kod kinda mane gitimo e manyo gik mabeyo beyo.
Ka johala ok nyal chako project ka ionge gi market.
Tudri gi Cleophas Oluoch e ohala gi mwandu. Tich ang'wen ka tich ang'wen chakre saa 1:45 otieno.
Europe awaits na View Travel. Join our 10-day European adventure from April 13th to 22nd, 2025. Explore Belgium, Czech Republic, France, Germany, and the Netherlands with tours in Prague, Amsterdam, and Paris. Enjoy boat cruises on the Vltava, Seine, Lake Isle, and Rhine, plus visits to Prague Castle and the Eiffel Tower. All this and more starting from $2,550 per person sharing. Book now and lipa pole pole. Visit viewtravel.com or call and WhatsApp 0703-254-254. View Travel. Dream, explore, discover.
Ma oken mana sigand hera.
Donge wabiro timo arus.
Sama chuny mokuyo ketho ngima ng'ato.
Waromo kamae. Kendo afanyo ne jaod nyamino matin.
Hera mane okwe, timandhoga kod weche mopondo.
I'm sorry. Ang'o momiyo ine wanda kamae? Mano ok nyal bedo hera.
Hera chako dongo e kind ji ariyo. Mana ni mondo temgi gi pek mar gik ma gisekaloe.
Ine won Prince Raj. Ang'o momiyo ok idwa yie?
E kind piem mar gombo duong' kod makruok gi joot. Nyaka ng'ato tim yiero. Yiero manyalo loko tiend hera. Choti Sardani. Wuok tich. Nyaka ngeso, saa 2:15 otieno.
Machiegni kendo, johala e chiro mobambo miyo ten kaunti ma Kisumo thuolo mar dweche 2 mar keto kare chenro e chirono. Johala go dwaro nogernegi cho, ketnegi pi maler e kind midhiero mamoko ma giywak ni osuru ma gisebedo ka gichulo ok osebedo ka timogi e yo makare.
Gi kwan mar johala mayo 500 kadiore piny maru e stonde 72 e dier chiro ma obambo mayudore e sub county ma Kisumu West. Johala e chiro no koro ywago odayo e wi chido mar alwora, onge mar pi maler e kind midhiero mamoko.
Ler onge obambo, kontena ne gimiyo waten kontena matin. Koro kiwuotho kachacha tiyudo kata kopong'o kucho all over obambo market. Koro mano problem ma wan go kabisa korka ler. To gikwayo be wakwayo ni county government ondiknwa kata joywecho moko 2 manyalo ywenwa obambo market ko tung kocha nyaka koni.
Maduong' ahinya en ni sirikandwa dwa wuoge oko mondo bi okonyinwa pi. Mine uso alot ka, mine uso rech ka, wan wawegi wan gi kata mana gima duto kako chakore pino, wanya dwaro kata pi modho, diro ka pigno onge machiegni kodwa. Koro mae mwakwayo sirikal mondo mi okonywa weche aina gi mondo wabed gi ler motegne yo bambo. Wakoso ler, to ler ni chakore mana gi pi.
Gitielo bende ni onge mar choche osebedo badho maduong' e chiro no ka koro chuno gi mondo gidhi oko matin gi maduong' e yo monywandore e tok dukni kod e bunge machiegni gi chiro gino maketo ngimagi e andaki mar gamo tuoche mopogore.
Show mar obambo waonge go. Nomukore no wase report ne county government. Gisebedo ka gi promise wani gibiro loso nwacho poko ger cho nyaka kawuono. Kiwuotho around the market iyudo ni jomoko olo pi matin kamora mora, jomoko dhi oko, nyithindo dhi oko kamora mora.
Koro nyayudo ni nyalo chunowa nwa ringi kata kamoro ma korido masa moro bathe kanyo nitiere hotel. Emibiro ka ng'ato nyuongo kanyo mondo mi okonyre. Mama nero makosa.
Koro mano it is easy mondo jowa matimo ohala e chiro ka yot mondo yud tuo mar kolera, tuoche maluwore gi ler ka ler tin.
Ewi mano, johala go ywago achiedh nade magikalo e kinde duto kotenore kod yudo hola ne bogo ohennigi kaluwore ni hola mag piny owacho kaka mag Uwezo Funds ok chopnegi e yo mayot.
Wagombo ni county government gin ga kod loans magimiyo ji. Wabende gimiwa loans mondo walokgo ichichwa mar obambo karkae. Mondo obambo bed chiro moro maber mantiere kod chia makata ka wendo moro oko kucha to neno ni waloko.
Masai emasani timo ne jogi loaning. Kaponi pesa no kochul to koro tigre kodi. Koro neno ni Uwezo Fund mondo kelnwa mondo kik wayud weche makelo wach mag achach manyalo miyo joga Masai hinyo jogi.
Kano telnegi kod jakom margi, koro gibono mar biro weyo chulo osuru, ponono ten county ma Kisumu, oko biro deo ywakgi kendo tieko midhierogi e thuolo mar dweche 2.
Koro mo 2 months kaponi market, obama market oko yudo cho, okomednwa skip mar container healthwise bende okobedo maber korka ler mane okang' ma jo traders around 500 people osekao ni they will not pay tax.
Ariyogi kwa miyogi to gikawo action ok wabi ng'ado osuru.
Johala mobambo koro geno gi liyo mondo sirikal owinj ywakgi kendo kelnegi resruok mapiyo ka koro gichiwo thuolo mar dweche 2 kende mondo sirikal okaw okang' ma kamano. Ka ok kamano to gibuono we choko osuru. Millicent Adhiambo, Ramogi TV, Obambo, Kisumu County.
Mana kamano wadok achiel nyaka doho ma Milimani mondo wayiene kaka ing'ado bura ne manen gavana ma Kiambu Ferdinand Waititu.
Council, you can remind me the name of this lady. What's the name of the lady? Winnie Wangeshmaina. Thank you, Governor. Winnie. Just a moment. Yeah, yes.
No, the name of the lady who produced evidence and produced that was Elizabeth Mahinda.
Yeah, Elizabeth Mahinda. Yes. I issued, okay. Elizabeth Mahinda. But the production, you confirm it was produced by the first accused? Okay, I just confirm there's no problem. Don't worry about it. So, Mr. Monda, we'd rather release those one for their safe custody. Let them keep them. If there are any further proceedings, he has them.
He must be told that he must avail them.
Yes. Yes. Because I've indicated for safe custody. For safe custody. There are still exhibits, we have marked them. But we don't have got a good place where we can keep them. Maybe some water may come and destroy them. Then we'll be in trouble and would have destroyed someone's property. And I promised. And that's why even I've taken the trouble to ensure that they are fetched and they are brought. About the passport, I'm also following on them so that you get the passports. I'll ensure that shortly you get the passport. I hope someone is still on it about the passports. Yes, just so that I conclude on the sentence. Then you can address me if there's an issue that you want. So I've also meant that to be released. Then accused person will not have 14 days right to appeal. That's also your right against the judgment and the ruling on the sentence. I've also made an order that certified copies of judgment ruling on sentence shall issue to parties subject to payment of the charges where applicable. If it's the ESCC and prosecution, they don't pay. JM and Swaka, you are to do something. Did you do? Because that's where I check. Did we pay? I gave you.
Yeah, my office is paying for 6 years. So these days we don't pay.
Yeah, you paid.
Yeah.
Can we check and confirm? Eh?
It's in the process.
Because I don't want to be sent a bill. And I'm only a salaried person. JM, it's only one to pay. Only one to pay.
I agree. Actually, I was requesting something, but I don't know that you mentioned that.
Now I've completed. Okay. Yeah. Just a moment. Yes. I had the proceedings of the proceedings, but the proceedings we need to have looked at them. The types one there are a few typos here and there, as usual, you know. But I've even called the EO and I've told him if we can be given to a serious person to proofread them thoroughly, it's okay. But for the judgment you have, this ruling I'm going to give you right away. It won't even take a second for me to give you. Yeah. Yes, I put certified copies of proceedings, judgment, and the ruling on sentence shall issue to the parties subject to payment of charges where applicable. Does that one cover everything? Yes. Now, just a moment, Danson. Just a moment. So that we proceed in a very orderly way. Let me begin with the governor. There's an issue that he wanted to raise. Then I can come to councils. Raise it. It is good. You don't tell someone to sit down and it's not good.
I don't go to the state over this case. They're still with them as well.
Now, where's Mohammed? Mohammed? Do you have Mohammed? That was the leader here. No. Leave people's bosses. Yes. Nganga, you stand in. Yes. Yes. In court. Okay. What I may do, Nganga, I just plead with you, just as I've been telling you. Please, if you find there's something that's personal, and probably we don't need it for personal proceedings, you see, like even mine I'm giving back, just give them on. Swakas made very good submissions, and it was good. We don't need to continue paying where really someone has failed it. There's no point. Correct? I've sentenced you. Just look at it on compassion. Correct? Yeah, because I've appreciated the work that all of you have done. Correct? Yes, and the accused person, they are being cooperative throughout the proceedings. So there's no point. There's a document, you find this one is very useful. They may need it, you never know. Correct? Because like now these ones, I must give them. I don't need to trust them on what is happening. Now, a moment so that I take the addresses of councils as we wind up, and we be brief. And either the rest of the exposure, if there is any clarification, you didn't hear something properly, you tell me. I tell you so that you hear it from me. You don't go home and say, oh, I didn't understand this and that. Engineer, you understood your issue. Yeah. Yes. 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 Just give me, I've told them in court, and I'm also going to reach out to them. Just for cordial relations. I tell them, those ones, look at them. Correct? And I hope you'll appreciate when, I'll also appreciate when you get them back. I tell them to give you, because there's no problem. Because the problem that I'm in, they are not exhibits. Now I can't release. I cannot just plead like a court. Because at the end of the day, they are being taken for a judicial purpose. You may think it is the judiciary that is offending you. Correct? But that's not the case. And because it's also our business to arbitrate. You know, my other work is just to ensure that we live in peace. Yeah. Actually, that's my core business. Yeah. I just want we live well. We have an orderly society. That's my core business. That's the work of the judiciary. So I'll also talk to them. I'll also talk to them and tell them, please, if there's something that you think, go there and cancel, sieve through. Then they tell you, this one we are using, this one we are not. Get them. Correct? Yes. Council Swaka, don't go very far because I want to take Council's crossing remarks. Bridget. This one I shut up. Don't shut it out. But we'll go and print later, once you are through this one. Councillor Danson, you are the one who was first on your feet. I think you have conversed with the Councillor Swaka, so you can have the floor, Councillor Damson, and we welcome you to these proceedings.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate the sentence given to the audience. We have one or two patients, right? Based on the fact that the court has granted us 14 days to appeal. The appeal entails the substantive appeal, bail pending appeal. We shall be moving on both those limbs, and if we succeed to get the convicts out on bail pending appeal, the High Court will impose certain conditions to be met. The trial court had imposed its conditions. Till today, when Your Honor, you have discharged the sureties, and because this court has come forward as official in this matter. Your Honor, to avoid a repeat of the evaluation process of those securities, that if the High Court grants, the accused shall have to undergo a similar process. We are pleading with this court to put in abeyance
order for the release of securities so that we shall be informing the High Court with prayers that the terms bond imposed in this court to apply in the High Court, and those securities are within the judiciary. We intend to move with speed. At close of business today or tomorrow, we shall be in High Court to seek those reliefs. You know, that is our humble prayer, and on humanitarian grounds. So that for the brokers of the judiciary, it will be easy than from outside again to start the process again. In the event, if we fail, we can still move this court for the release of those securities that shall be in the custody of the judiciary. We are grateful, and that is my humble prayer. Thank you very much.
Yes, Your Honor, we try to
The defense is still.
Okay, sorry. No problem.
Thank you. Your Honor, on behalf of the defense, we wanted 2 or 3 prayers to make. First and foremost, Your Honor, on behalf of the first accused, my instructions are that from yesterday, he's been feeling unwell. And you can look at his state in the dock. He's struggling. It's all right.
You see, I'm incapacitated. I'm not an medical.
Yes.
I don't want to try something that I've never examined that patient.
That is right.
So
we agree with you.
Yeah.
We just want the court to observe that. That our ample prayer request will be that he be allowed to go to a medical facility, perhaps Kenyatta Hospital. That's for checkup. I will not delve into his sickness in open court and in the media.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Yes. But I'll just be asking that maybe after here, he could be escorted for medical intervention. Secondly, Your Honor, on behalf of the 5th accused, Beth Wangeshi, Your Honor, she had deposited a cash bail, I believe, of 4 million. We'll be asking that the fine be utilized from that particular cash bail. On computing her fine, I think it's coming to about 1.4 million.
You see the fine.
When we compute,
It's
1.4 now. My counterparts from the DPP's office, about 1 million, and also from the ECC, it's about 1.4. Yeah, it could be, the cash could be utilized for that. So as it's expedited, that it can be out.
And we need the
Yeah, we shall supply everything. And I believe there's another receipt in the court file. And we can show affidavits in case we don't have the original. Yeah, thank you. And equally, we were just from what my learned friend Omari said. For the rest, if those who deposit their title deeds, the same could be reserved in the event, in the likely event that the High Court has agreed with us. Then the same could be utilized to second time.
Yes, the final bit.
I also welcome you. I will not prevent you from
Thank you, Your Honor. I did not participate in the proceedings initially, and I was instructed after the judgment was read. We wish to also kind of apply that we be supplied with the copies of the proceedings and judgment and the ruling that has been rendered this afternoon, so that it can enable us to sift through and present ourselves to the High Court for the appeal that we're intending to file the soonest. And also, if it is possible, now that the exhibits have been presented before the court, if it is possible that we can have a rundown of the same in a bundle at our cost, so that we can be able to then prepare ourselves adequately for the appeal, as opposed to the ones that were supplied to the defense at the onset of the trial. This is because at times there are some exhibits that are normally supplied, copies of exhibits that are supplied to the defense, and during trial they don't form part of the record of the court, and that is why we are making that application for those exhibits perhaps to be bound and we liaise with the registry if that order issues for purposes of completeness. Thank you. That is the application.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, we are opposed to the application. It is our humble submission that my learned friend, Mr. Omari, is making an application unknown to law. You have already ordered for the return of the sureties and even discharged them. You cannot be invited now to hold that in abeyance. That application, in our humble view, has been overtaken by events, and as correctly put by my learned friend, you are now functioned as official. It is our submission that you cannot go back and revise your own decision. In fact, I was waiting for counsel to invite us to that particular provision of the law, but that is yet to be done. And we submit there is none. This court, having discharged the sureties, is found as official and cannot hold that decision in abeyance. With regard to the state of the first accused, Your Honor, we must realize that he is a convict. And there are systems in place within the prison for which that issue will be addressed. Therefore, councils can address that issue with the prison authorities so that they can make arrangements for him to be taken for medical treatment. With regard to the last application by my learned friend, Mr. Nabeli, Your Honor, the court can only make an order of exhibits it is seized of. You cannot make an order for a document that was not exhibited before court because it does not form part of the court record. In fact, Your Honor, my learned friend Mr. Swaka was given all those documents, including Mr. Njenga. Therefore, our submission is that they can liaise with these learned friends so that they can then be given the documents that was supplied by the prosecution. That would be all.
Thank you. 1 minute, Rebecca.
Yes, Your Honor. A brief rejoinder. One, a patient who has not been booked in prison, a word of this court. I urge the court to take judicial notice of what happened to John Gaku when he pleaded with the court. Yes, I'm only bringing.
You know, I've got a lot of respect for you. You're also my advocate.
Yes, I know. Let me move away from mentioning the name. But I'm only saying we are on this.
Just a moment.
On a light note.
Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment so that I can convince you about that one. You see what has happened is, I came in when some of those things were said. And out of that, I've really been very humble and really look at the welfare of people. I've never taken a plea on someone on handcuffs. And I refused some of those tactics, simply to ensure that we are well, correct? And the only problem that I had with that was this. The narration, people were now going the other way around. Judiciary is killing people. And that was not the case. That was not the case. And for me, I know governor has got a life to live and many years to live. And I pray for him. He'll recover. He'll get well. Correct? Correct? So really, for that one, who unfortunately did whatever happened, and because there were no investigators to find out what would have happened with him, let's let him rest in peace. Then for the one who is breathing, we just wish him well. Isn't it? And we take medicine to him. That would be a better way, because now we are all mortals and we'll not be scared, when now we are reminded of the afterlives, isn't it? No one wants to think about those things. You never know. It's only the good Lord who knows about it. And let's just leave that judgment to him. So I think my good learned counsel, have I convinced you?
You have convinced me.
Please, with a lot of humility.
With a lot of humility.
Yes.
Also put down the prison officers taking the hospital.
Okay.
Only that. We are not asking anything more.
I will.
That the prison officers take it to hospital.
That one I will.
And number two, you know, on the question of us leaving, you allowed to put your orders in abeyance.
Yes.
I didn't want to be mischievous to my brother, Mr. Munda, to say we can still leave those securities without us taking them.
Yes.
Go to the High Court and say they are still with us.
The court. Yes. Yes.
But Your Honor, the
go.
court can, with its wisdom,
Yes.
see what is best for their district.
The only leave that is not under
Just a moment. Just a moment. I'm trying to rearrange something here that are getting a little bit messy.
Yes, on one issue, I did apply for the copies of exhibits, and Mr. Monda replied to it. Yona, it may be noted that we were instructed, myself and Mr. Mali, to come and join hands with Mr. Swaka in this matter, this late after all the proceedings were undertaken. And I made that application because normally the prosecution supplies us with copies of exhibits that they intend to use, and at times they don't produce all that which they have supplied. So that we jump over that hurdle in a good way, which is not going to be prejudicial to the respondent, that is the state in the appeal. We wish that order issues for us to have copies of the exhibits that were used, that were rendered to court, which form part of the record of this court. And that will be on our cost. So that then we don't produce in the High Court on appeal a document that did not find its space in the trial, even when it was supplied to the defense. That is the gist of my application here.
Just to perhaps retaliate what has already transpired in terms of the medical attention to the client. We are many of us. Since the conviction and the sentence has passed, we know the next steps will be that will be handed over to the prison authorities. My prayer will be this. Upon the prison authorities taking over in a few minutes, and that will be in line to what the prosecution are praying. We'll be seeking the marching, the escorting, the moving him to Kenyatta National Hospital for that particular checkup. Not the police, but the prison department, so as to safeguard his health. Tomorrow or the other day thereafter may be too late.
Can you confirm about the cash bill for the fifth?
Maybe confirm in terms of who paid the.
No, whether it is there.
The receipt.
Yeah.
We don't know, we can't tell unless my.
No, we'll deal with that as long as we have an order that the cash will be used. We'll follow up the rest because.
Are you able to?
But we have the receipt with us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, that's what we are saying.
So oh, the police remain with it downstairs. Their personal effects remain with them. Yes.
You haven't seen it?
Yeah.
Do you believe that shoots the best? And I don't like people who come in, especially like I don't like it.
It's in our bag downstairs. You know, their personal effects were left with the police downstairs in the basement.
Yeah.
She's willing to send the officer.
She can rush and bring it.
Yes, she can rush. Mambo endo lete. Thank you.
Now I've made a very brief ruling. We have written other many things, so really, I don't think at this point it's good to continue making lengthy decision on a few issues that we have raised. I'll begin with the question of cash bail deposited in court by the fifth accused person. I think I start with what is very positive. So, fifth accused person, she's allowed to utilize. As she brings, we have also confirmed from the CTS, it is here. She had deposited, but she can still bring it. Accordingly, the fifth accused person is hereby will be allowed to utilize, and accordingly she will be set free. No remand warrant should be prepared for her because we are holding her money. That's Beth only. The court is now functioning as official on orders regarding discharge of the sureties and the securities. So for that one, Council Dancer, you can use the other option. Number 3, defense advocate who are joining Mr. Swaka at liberty to produce in court, to obtain copies of exhibit produced in court where convenient, subject to payment of the court charges. I've said where convenient. Like, for example, we have got booklets. Now, how do you photocopy those booklets? And we don't want to distort those booklets. So for those ones, the route that I want us to take is this. You find it's a booklet you can peruse. Then if the SEC have got soft copies, you remember the soft copies, or even to Asoka, someone has got clearer soft copies, or the prosecution, just give you, correct? But I know there is the one page. The one page we can always give, correct? The one page, those one we can give. But the booklets, I've said only where convenient. And I've also stated, if need be, soft copies of the documents shall be supplied. So we try as much as possible. If we can give soft, the better. Now, number 4. For the first, second, third, and fourth accused person, you shall forthwith be remanded in prison custody at industrial area prison to commence serving your sentences unless you are able to pay your fine. If you pay the fine, you get out, or you get out from the High Court. Yeah. No problem. Then for the last order is about the first accused person. I made an order that you be escorted to hospital for treatment, but that is subject to the opinion of the officer in charge of industrial area prison on the hospital or the facility where you can be taken to hospital. I won't mention anything because now you are with them. They know how to proceed. Beth, while I was you are away, I said that because you have this, for you, you are set free, correct? Then we'll do that, and then we'll also make an order for the refund of the balance. So, Oibara, you can commence that so that your receipt, you issue her. Then we see what else we can be able to do. Where did I put that one? So I've added the balance to be refunded. So for you, you are free. You are not preparing any prison, any remand warrant for you. Now, Oibara, you hurry up. We do the prison remands. So you allow me just to end at that, so that we can go and see whether we can also have our lunch, our late lunch. Is that okay? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Now, who is making the deposit? You show me one. Show me one. Madam, are you ready? Correct? Okay, you work with her. For her, you let her finish up, and with all the remand. But they need to. Huh? No. I'm not. I won't issue. No. I don't need an order. What we do, I'm the one who's saying the remands. Susan, trust in me. I'm not a bad guy. So, trust in me. Just hold her, then we process that. Don't need to punish anyone. Correct? And even if everyone was able to pay, I've got no problem. Because I've done what I'm supposed to do. And I've just done it in the confines of the law. Correct? I stand corrected by the courts above me. Correct? I'm just doing my job. So now, for that I don't need to worry, counsel. I'm the one who's saying the remarks. Correct? And the in charge. I don't know who we are dealing with. The OCS. She umesikia maneno ya Susan, eh? Yeah, hold her, the daughters to rush and pay. Just a mother, let her just go and pay her things. For Susan, we have got no problem. So they can quickly, Waibara, please do. And I beseech you, as you pay these fines, only pay the fine only. We only need the fine. Correct? Susan, there is no facilitation. We only need the fine, please. I beseech you people. Let us observe the integrity of the process. Because I know the pressure that you may be experiencing. Correct? You trust, I'm not going to delay. I'll be waiting to sign for that. So just observe the integrity of this process. Because condiments are many, and people say many things. But you have heard the truth from me. Trust in me. Okay. Thank you, I wish you well. Thank you. You bring to 6.
Marakamano mago ne pichni mane biro ni achiel ka achiel kowuok e doho maduong' ma Milimani kama ni ng'ado bura ne manen gavana ma Kiambu Ferdinand Waititu manyaka sani ong'adne buch twech mar higni 12 ka nyaka sani eri oimiye thuolo ni kapo nochulo fine mar $53.3 tinyalo weye thuolo. Mano Ferdinand Waititu manen gavana ma Kiambu e kinde mokalo. Bende kaluwore gi wach makamano ero, doho ochiko ni ka ok onyal chul fine to mondo mi otere industrial area kama obiro chako twech mare mar higni 12. Mago gin buche mosebedo kadhi nyime kanitudo Ferdinand Waititu gi mibadhi mar omenda maromo mohingo siling $500,000 ma bende wacho ni notimore e yor orak kane ochiwo orage ne kembe moko motudore kode kata familia mare mobalo gi chik matayo tije mag piny owacho. Mano notimore kane en gavana ma Kiambu. Magi duto biro ni kowuok e Ramogi TV. Wabiro medo kelo ni ler mathoth weche manyien ma saa 10 kaachiel bende gi weche manyien mabiro biro seche mag odhiambo kar saa 1 gi saa 3. Anyalo kawo ote achiel kende kaeto aneno ka nyanya kacho oseikore ka okona ni akaw thuolo mare mang'eny, koro mondo awene thuolo rwako Valentine kawuono makwar. Akia nodwa miyo ng'a Valentine, nyaka kelne maua kawuono. Aneno ka nitie ote kama wacho ni ni aniluonga ni Morris Dianga kawuok Kamgundo. Naneno Ramogi TV maler, opuoyo sikunde moko kanyo. Kara kamano aneno ka japuonj moro bende wacho ka ni iluonge ni John Ogai, mano retired teacher John Ogai, wacho ni jaka Black okwe kuom ruothe ni higni malo 20. Bende nyalo paro japuonj mane puonjo dowa mane wuotho kodi kwadhi e sport kit Mikai Seme. Japuonj en higni mang'eny, nyaka na bed japuonj en higni 31. Koro kanyal paro, kara kamano kinyalo para kane pod wapuonjo kodi en kare. Nyakora Mogi tinawe mana gi kanyo. Wachak watim kama saa 10 e weche manyien mag kagi kacha. Nyinga Milton Ochieng, oriti masani.